Hey, let me tell you a story. I bought an old voice recorder at a flea market 2 weeks ago. Small silver one with a cracked screen and dust in the buttons. The seller said it came from a storage unit clearance. I didn't ask questions. I like collecting old stuff that still works. I got home, plugged it in, and saw 7 recordings inside, all from June 2012. I thought maybe some student used it for lectures, maybe an old journalist, but when I pressed play on the first file, I heard a man breathing, then saying his name, Aaron Miles, and that he was beginning a paranormal investigation at a closed motel on Route 19. His tone was calm but strange, like he was reading something written by someone else. He said he wanted to capture proof that the rooms remember who stayed in them. That line stuck with me. The first recording ended after 5 minutes of footsteps and wind. Nothing scary, just an empty place. I played the second file, and that's where it got weird. His voice was shaky, whispering that the hallway light was flickering even though the power was off. He said he heard someone knock from inside the bathroom wall. He laughed nervously and said maybe it was pipes, but he sounded unsure. Then he whispered that his reflection in the window didn't match his mouth movements. I paused it there, leaned back, tried to laugh it off, but I felt something. That same instinct you get when a story is too specific to be fake. I checked the recorder. Same model as his probably, and noticed something scratched on the back. Letters M. I figured maybe it was coincidence. The third recording started with him sounding tired. You could hear a fan in the background. Then his voice saying he couldn't sleep because the recorder kept turning itself on. He said the red light blinked all night and that the battery never drained. He repeated that sentence 3 times, like he was testing if the device was listening. I stopped it for a second, looked down, and saw my own recorder light blinking even though I hadn't pressed record. I thought maybe it was a software glitch. I unplugged it, but the light stayed on. When I checked the files, there was a new one with today's date. I played it. Silence for 10 seconds. Then my own breathing, faint, shallow. Then a whisper that said, "Keep listening." I threw it on the desk and backed away. My hands were shaking. I left it unplugged overnight, but when I woke up it was on again, recording, another new file. The timestamp said 3:05 a.m. I hadn't been home. I was on a night shift. I played it. I heard my apartment, the hum of my fridge, the wall clock ticking, then footsteps crossing the room, slow, heavy, stopping near the recorder. Then the same whisper, "Keep listening." I stopped it there, left the apartment, took the thing with me to work. Halfway through the shift I searched Aaron Miles online. Nothing recent, but there was an old forum thread from 2013. Someone saying a guy named Aaron disappeared while investigating a motel on Route 19. They found his car, his gear, but no body. One comment said police recovered audio logs that kept looping new sentences every day even after power was cut. I didn't believe it, but my stomach twisted reading that. I went home after sunrise. Didn't touch the recorder, but around noon it beeped from the drawer, the same soft beep it makes when saving. I opened it and there was a new file with no date, just blank name. I hit play and heard a door creak, footsteps, then Aaron's voice again, faint, distant, saying someone moved my recorder last night. I woke up and it was on my chest. I'm leaving this place. Then a knock, sharp, hollow. He whispered room service, another knock, louder. Then a deep voice said you forgot to check out. He gasped, dropped the recorder. You could hear it roll on the floor. Then static. I hit stop but it wouldn't stop. The buttons froze. The sound kept going. I pulled the batteries and threw it in my backpack. Later that night it started recording by itself. I could hear the faint clicking through the fabric. I decided to destroy it the next morning. But curiosity won. I played the newest file. This time it wasn't Aaron. It was me. Same rhythm, same pauses, saying you shouldn't have come back. I stopped breathing for a moment. It wasn't edited. It was my exact voice. I tried deleting the file, but the button didn't work. The display glitched. The old dates turned into the current week. Each file matched the exact times I'd been out of the apartment. I opened the one from yesterday and heard my own phone call ordering food. The recorder had been locked in a drawer, but somehow captured every sound. I checked the list again and there was one more. Name tomorrow. I didn't open it, not right away. But an hour later, it started playing by itself. The speaker whispered my name, then said come here. I unplugged it, but the sound continued. The screen flashed once and showed a line of text. Just 2 words, keep listening. Then the light went off. I thought it finally died. I left it on the table, but when I came back later, my computer was on. Even though I'd shut it down, a new file sat on the desktop, named Diaries 001. I swear I hadn't connected the recorder to anything. I clicked it and the same whisper played, this time lower, slower, and at the end it said you finished my story. Now I finish yours. I sat there staring at the screen, my hands cold. The file had stopped, but the room felt heavier, the air thicker. I pulled the cable from the wall, but the monitor stayed on too long. The speakers hissed once, like someone breathed through them. I grabbed the recorder. I took it to the kitchen, dropped it on the floor. I hit it with a hammer. The case cracked. The glass shattered. The batteries rolled away. The red light faded slow. I felt stupid, but safe for a moment. I swept the pieces into a bag, threw it in the kitchen bin, stood there, breathing slow, staring at the trash, until I felt the floor vibrate. Not from the recorder, from somewhere deeper. I turned to the living room. The TV was on, the media input open. One single file on the screen, Diaries 002. I froze. I hadn't plugged anything in. I hadn't touched the remote. The file started by itself. My voice came from the speakers, calm and quiet, repeating every word from earlier, every pause, every breath. I muted it, but the voice kept going. I pulled the power cord. The screen went black. The sound whispered once more, then stopped. I waited. Silence. No light. No movement. I opened the bin. The recorder still broken. Still dead. I took the bag, went outside, threw it in the metal dumpster. The lid slammed. The sound echoed across the yard. When I came back, my phone was vibrating. A new file was waiting. The name was just Diaries, recorded 2 minutes ago. I pressed play. I heard the gate open, my own footsteps on the concrete, the lid slamming, and then another pair of footsteps behind me. Slower, heavier. I turned to the window. Nobody there. The street empty. I locked the door, stood still, the phone still playing. I heard breathing, but not mine. I waited. The sound ended, and another file appeared. I opened it. This time it was silence. For 10 seconds, then Aaron's voice said, "You finished my story. Now I finish yours." I dropped the phone. It kept recording, the mic light pulsing slow. I picked it up again. The file still growing in size, like something was recording from the other side. I checked my laptop. 3 new files were waiting. Diaries 001, Diaries 002, Diaries 003. I opened the last one. It wasn't my apartment. I heard an old fridge, a wooden floor, a man breathing. Aaron's voice said, "I tried to delete them, but it made more. The rooms remember who stayed in them. The recorders remember who spoke into them. The only way to stop it is to give it someone else to follow. I froze. I understood. He wasn't documenting, he was passing it on. He wanted someone to find his voice, so it would stop chasing him. I checked the old forum again. There was a comment I had missed. It said, "Do not play all of them. It attaches after the fourth." I had already played 7. I closed the laptop, but the screen stayed lit. The cursor moved on its own. A new file appeared. Live. The mic was on. The wave moved with every breath I took. I said stop. The line paused, then moved again. It was listening. I unplugged the internet cable. I didn't want it to spread, but maybe it already had. Maybe the first time I pressed play, it copied itself somewhere. Maybe through Bluetooth. Maybe through sound. I checked my phone, another file. Same name, same time. I pressed play. My voice said, "You shouldn't have destroyed it. Now you are the recorder." I threw the phone on the floor. It didn't break, it just kept recording. The mic light blinking in rhythm with my heart. I thought about Aaron, he said. Give it someone else to follow. I didn't want to, but maybe that's the only way. Maybe that's why the story found me. Maybe that's why you are hearing this now. I made a deal with myself. One version, one file, tell it once, and never again. So I sat down, opened a new recording, and started talking. Every detail, every sound, every whisper. When I finished, I tried to stop it, but it stopped by itself. The file saved. The red light blinked twice, then the screen went black. I waited, the computer silent. I thought it was done. Then the TV clicked on. One file appeared. Same name, same timestamp. It started to play by itself. My voice repeating the last words I had just spoken. Exactly the same. The delay between us almost gone. I reached to unplug the cable, but stopped, because in the recording my voice said, "Don't. It's not done." I watched the wave on the screen. It kept moving, recording live. I said hello, and my voice answered hello. A second later, I asked, "What do you want?" It said you. I shut the lid, but the sound didn't stop. It came from the air, from the floor, from the walls. Every device in the room clicked on at once. The phone, the TV, the speakers, all saying the same thing. Keep listening, keep listening. I covered my ears, but it didn't help. The sound wasn't loud. It was inside. It was under the skin. I ran to the window, opened it, threw the phone outside. It hit the ground, still talking. I went to the door, the handle cold, and from the hallway I heard it again, a calm voice, just like mine, saying you forgot to check out. I shut the door, locked it, sat down, and decided to finish this file. And if you are hearing this now, it means it worked. It means it moved on. So listen carefully. If you delete it, it will come back. If you replay it, it will learn your voice. And if you record your own version, it will follow you instead. That's how it survives. That's how it remembers. So whatever you do, don't stop it too soon. Don't stay silent too long, because silence is when it listens the most.